Hi all. So welcome to the session two, where we are going to. I'm going to give you some introduction on Dataverse. So to begin with, what is Dataverse? So Dataverse is basically a cloud-based database, uh, which is accessible with APIs or connectors by Power Apps. So if you read it, Microsoft is a cloud-based low-code data service and app platform which allows you to leverage the security and connectivity of Microsoft services. Now, since it is a cloud-based, it follows all the security and compliance aspects of Microsoft. We'll discuss them in detail in our next slides. So, in this session, we are going to learn about what are the environments uh, in our Power Platform, uh, what are the tables and columns in Dataverse, what are the relationships which we can define in Dataverse. Also, we are going to discuss about common data model. What is the common data model, and what is the difference between Microsoft Dataverse and common data model? And then we are also going to discuss about business rules, how we can imply business rules, and how they are affecting, how they can affect the adhering of data logic in our Power Platform. So moving to the next slide, if you will see here, these are the basically few of the features of our Dataverse. So as I mentioned, that this Dataverse is a backbone of offering of Microsoft. Uh, Here you can have data from different sources, whether it's a Dynamics 365, it's Office 365, or maybe from third party. Since it is based on the premise of common data model, all the data can be easily integrated into this Dataverse. So it is a central repository which can be used by Power Apps to build the solutions. So all of the Power Platform components, whether it's Power Platform, Power Apps, Power BI, your Power Virtual Agents, or AI Builder, they can use data from Dataverse uh, to give the experience to the users. Uh, Now let's discuss about some of the features of this Dataverse. Now, since its Dataverse is managed by Microsoft Cloud, it has some of the features with like security. So it supports Azure Active Directory mechanism to access and authenticate. Then it also the logic it also enables users to easily apply business logic on the data layer instead of on the client layer. It stores the data and it offers you that you can control the shape of your data. You have full control on the tables you can build, the kind of relationship you can build between different tables. The storage of Dataverse, as I mentioned, is in Azure Cloud, and with the help of APIs or webhooks, you can expose this data to different Power Apps or some third-party apps. Uh, let's talk about the scalability. So it's very scalable. It gives you a database up to 4 terabyte per instance. Again, this depends on the kind of licensing you have, but it has the capability of storing 4 terabyte of data per instance. Moving to the next slide, here we'll talk about what is common data model and what is how it is related to uh, Microsoft Dataverse. So, Dataverse is basically based on the premise of common data model. Now, what is common data model? Common data model is basically open sourced, standardized, extensible data tables uh, which are developed or uh, which are decided to be developed by all the big companies like Microsoft, SAP, Salesforce, so that their data can be easily integrated among different platforms. So there is something called Open Data Initiative, which you can read on the internet. And under this initiative, all these companies have decided to use common data models so that they can their applications can talk to each other. Coming to below, let's discuss about the tables and columns in Dataverse. Now we have basically three kinds of tables here. So these tables, and you can find the type of table here. Some of them are custom based, which you can build by yourself. You can delete the columns, add the columns in them. Then some of them are standard tables where you can add the columns, but you can't delete the columns. Then there are some other complex type of tables as well, which contain server-side business logic. Uh, so these tables are generally not by touched by business users. Uh, yeah, so that's all. Moving to the next slide, columns in Dataverse. Now, each of the column in Dataverse, like any database, has a data type. Now, if you want to use a column, you with the same data type, you can just rename this column and use it as it is for your purpose. Moving to the next slide. Uh, s- as I mentioned, that Dataverse support concepts of RDBMS, one-to-many and many-to-one relationship you can establish between different tables. Coming to the different environments. So if you will see here that this is our tenant. So once you log into Power Platform, that is one tenant. And under that tenant, you can create different environments. Now these environments can be based on your requirement. It can be based on geography, like you can have one for US, one for Canada, India, or anywhere. Or you can also have based on your SDLC life cycle or anything you can think of. You can have the environment based on the different departments of your business unit, right? So you can have environment as per your need. Each environment allows you to provision one Microsoft Dataverse database for use within that environment. So you can have one database dedicated to that particular environment. Along with it, the user access security settings can be done based on the environment, which we have already shown you in our last lecture. Uh, Coming to the business rules, now it is very, very important that uh, all the business rules which you want to establish should be done on database layer rather than on app layer, because if you're doing on app layer, there is a high probability that uh, it can corrupt your database. Now Dataverse allows you to create business rules which are here, like unlock, set field value, set uh, business required, set visibility, or set default value for all the columns in the database, in the Dataverse. So this ensures that your business logic is followed when the corresponding columns are accessed by Power Apps, Power Automate, or even APIs. So you're tying the rules with the data, not the app. So that's pretty much for this session. See you in the next session. Thank you.